Chad Daybell believes that he can talk to the dead, that he was a prophet. Daybell believed that he was chosen. He claimed that a near-death experience gave him supernatural abilities. He claims the world is coming to an end and that we will all be subjected to microchips and taken over by Russia and China. Chad claimed that he heard voices. Lori first met Chad in Hawaii, and both believed that they were supernatural beings, and that in 7 lives they previously lived, they were soulmates. He also believed that he was the reincarnation of Martin Luther. A cult never calls themselves a cult, they just are. And Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow claimed to be members of the LDS Church, but their faith couldn't be any further from the truth. Chad told Lori that Charles, her husband at the time, was a zombie. Charles knew that he was going to die. Lori Vallow believed that there were several people in power that were evil. She believed that Oprah Winfrey was at the head of it all. Shortly after the murder of her husband, she, her brother, her niece, Melanie, and Lori's 2 kids relocated to Rexburg, Idaho. Was she trying to distance herself from her husband's murderer? Perhaps police should have checked more into Alex Cox's self-defense alibi.
Around September of 2019, JJ and Tylee would go missing.
Investigators found that Lori had a storage unit and were able to collect surveillance footage of Lori and her brother take a number of items belonging to JJ Vallow and Tylee Vallow into the unit, including several heavy containers. There was also another man on camera footage that police couldn't verify.
Some suspect that this was Chad Daybell.
Lori's niece's ex-husband would be the next target.
Someone just shot my window.
On the night of October 2nd, 2019, Brandon Boudreau says he was headed to his home in Gilbert when someone fired a shot that hit his front driver's window, just inches above his head.
All I could think was, someone's shooting at me. What do I need to do? I need to hit the gas and get out of here.
Boudreau says he saw a rifle with a silencer come out of the back window of a gray Jeep Wrangler, which police say is registered to Charles Vallow, Lori's ex-husband. Charles Vallow died in July, shot to death in Chandler by Lori's brother Alex Cox. Cox is also dead. He was found unresponsive in Gilbert a few months later.
Just makes you sad. You know, like a lot of people you care about aren't here anymore because of these ideas.
In a December interview, Boudreau said Lori Vallow's beliefs are extreme, and his ex-wife Melanie had followed Lori in joining a cult.
Their focus is just so much on the end of the world and, you know, this idea that it's coming.
In recently filed documents, Boudreau claims his ex-wife confessed to her current husband that she'd conspired with her uncle Alex Cox to kill Boudreau. He says she had $1 million of reasons to have him killed, and that he thinks Melanie was hoping to cash in on the policy to help support the cult she's a part of.
I think it's an infatuation with the end of the world.
Boudreau also says his ex knows where the 2 missing children are, and she's been unwilling to cooperate with police. In the documents, he says Melanie had said things like, "Children are full of light," and then just like that, they go dark.
Brendan recognized the vehicle as belonging to Charles Vallow, who was murdered earlier that year. Who was the gunman? Why were they driving Charles Vallow's vehicle?
Court records accuse Lori's niece, Melanie Pulowski, of being involved in a cult with Lori and Chad. She's also accused of being involved in a shooting attempt on her ex-husband's life. She testified that Gilbert police consider her an investigative lead in that case, but says that she's not a suspect. She also denies that her ties to Lori Vallow Daybell and her family mean that she is an unfit mother.
October 9th, 2019. Tammy Daybell calls the police and reports that a masked gunman tried to kill her with the exact gun that Lori's niece's ex said his gunman had. It looked like a paintball gun. October 19th, 10 days after this incident, Tammy dies. Natural causes? That is what it was ruled.
Not long after Tammy Daybell died in her home in Salem, Idaho in mid-October, the Fremont County Sheriff's Office received a call from a detective in Arizona.
The decedent's going to be a Tamara Daybell.
Oh, yes. I was the one that actually took that call. So why someone from Arizona wanted to know? That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it funny how everything ties together? We just have some cases down here that got our attention with Miss Daybell.
The cases he's talking about could include the attempted shooting of a relative of Lori Vallow Daybell in Gilbert in October, or the July shooting death of Lori's late husband Charles Vallow in Chandler. Lori married Tammy's husband, Chad Daybell, less than 2 weeks after Tammy died. At the time, the sheriff's office investigated and said they found nothing suspicious. The coroner ruled the death was due to natural causes. The dispatcher explains to the Arizona detective it wasn't just the coroner who didn't want to press the investigation any further.
The family did not want an autopsy, so they just went straight to the funeral home, and the family refused an autopsy.
The family said they don't want an autopsy, therefore the coroner just signed off then and there, and then the funeral home took Miss Daybell. Is that how that works?
Yes, that's pretty much how it works.
In November, 2 weeks after laying his wife's body to rest, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow got married. It reportedly took place in Hawaii. Chad Daybell would collect close to $430,000 in insurance from his wife's death. November 26th, a welfare check is done on JJ. Police arrived where Lori and Chad were staying and met with Chad Daybell and Alex Cox. Police began questioning the two. Alex lied to police, claiming that JJ was living with his grandparents. In reality, his grandparents were the ones to ask for the welfare check that sent police to Chad and Lori's home. Once police were able to contact Lori, they were met with more lies. Lori claimed that JJ was staying with a friend. That friend was contacted and informed police that they hadn't seen JJ in months.
On the next episode of Unsolved True Crime, we will finish this story with a tragic ending.